Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Ukraine Will Win channel. Today, we're diving deep into the current state of the conflict, focusing on a crucial shift in the dynamics of the war, Ukraine's persistent and growing initiative on the battlefield. For months, the narrative was dominated by defense, by holding the line against overwhelming odds. But now, the story is changing. It's a story of proactive strategy, tactical brilliance, and the unbreakable will of a nation fighting for its very existence. Let's start by looking at the broader strategic picture. The initiative in warfare isn't just about launching offensives. It's about compelling your adversary to react to your moves. It's about setting the tempo, choosing the location of engagements, and forcing the enemy onto their back foot. This is precisely what we are witnessing from the Ukrainian armed forces. Instead of being reactive, Ukraine is now dictating the terms of engagement across multiple fronts, forcing Russian command to constantly reevaluate and redeploy their stretched resources. A prime example of this is the situation in the Kharkiv-Fobo region. The lightning-fast counteroffensive last year was a masterclass in exploiting weaknesses and achieving surprise, but the initiative didn't stop there. Ukrainian forces continue to apply pressure, conducting targeted strikes, reconnaissance missions, and small-scale operations that keep Russian troops perpetually on edge. This prevents them from regrouping, reinforcing other critical areas, or launching any meaningful offensive operations of their own in the region. Every move Russia makes here is a response, not a plan. Now let's shift our focus south, to the Zaporizhzhia and Donetsk regions. This is where the main thrust of Ukraine's counteroffensive efforts has been concentrated. Progress here has been described as methodical and deliberate, and for good reason. Ukraine is facing some of the most heavily fortified defensive lines seen in modern warfare, replete with minefields, trenches, and so-called dragon's teeth. Yet despite these immense challenges, Ukrainian brigades are systematically dismantling these defenses. They are not resorting to costly, large-scale frontal assaults. Instead, they are employing smart, combined arms tactics. Think of it like a meticulous, high-stakes puzzle. Ukrainian artillery, precision-guided munitions from partners, and increasingly domestically produced drones are working in concert to degrade Russian capabilities. They target command posts, ammunition depots, logistics routes, and artillery systems far behind the front lines. This shaping of the battlefield is a critical precursor to any ground advance. It isolates Russian frontline units that starves them of supplies and fire support and severely damages their morale. Only then do the armored and mechanized infantry units advance, clearing territory meter by painful meter. This patient, grinding approach minimizes Ukrainian casualties while maximizing the attrition of the occupying forces. It's a clear sign of a military that is fighting smart, preserving its most valuable asset, its soldiers. The battle for key hubs like Bakhmut also tells a fascinating story of initiative. After months of a brutal, attritional fight where Russia threw wave after wave of troops to capture the ruined city, the tables have turned. Now it's Ukrainian forces who are encircling Bakhmut from the flanks, threatening to trap the very Russian units that claimed a Pyrrhic victory there. This forces Russia to divert elite units like their airborne troops to defend the city, preventing them from being used to plug gaps elsewhere on the front. Ukraine has successfully turned what was supposed to be a Russian symbol of victory into a massive strategic liability, a constant drain on their manpower and resources. Beyond the ground war, Ukraine has also seized the initiative in the deep rear. The campaign of long-range drone strikes on military targets inside Russia is a game-changer. These attacks on air bases, fuel depots, and military factories have a multifaceted impact. First, they have a direct military effect, destroying valuable assets. Second, they force Russia to pull back air defense systems from the front lines to protect their own territory, creating safer corridors for Ukrainian operations. And third, they have a profound psychological impact, shattering the Kremlin's narrative that the conflict is something distant and far away from the average Russian citizen. The war is being brought home to the aggressor, demonstrating that there are no truly safe places. Similarly, the naval war in the Black Sea is a testament to Ukrainian ingenuity. Despite not having a traditional large navy, Ukraine has used naval drones and missile strikes to devastating effect. They have systematically targeted Russia's Black Sea fleet, damaging or destroying numerous vessels and forcing the fleet to retreat from its traditional home port in Sevastopol. This has effectively broken the Russian naval blockade, reopening vital sea lanes for Ukrainian grain exports through a humanitarian corridor. This is not just an economic victory, it's a strategic one. Ukraine, a country without a single large warship in active service, is winning the naval battle against a major sea power. This is the definition of initiative. What enables this strategic shift? It's a combination of factors. First, the continuous and evolving support from international partners. The provision of advanced weaponry, from HIMARS and Storm Shadow missiles to Leopard tanks and Bradley fighting vehicles, has given Ukrainian forces the tools they need to take the fight to the enemy. Just as important is the extensive training that Ukrainian soldiers are receiving, allowing them to master complex combined arms operations. Second is Ukraine's remarkable capacity for innovation. The domestic drone industry is a phenomenal example. Ukraine has rapidly scaled up the production of a vast array of drones, from small FPV quadcopters used for tactical strikes to long-range strategic drones capable of hitting targets hundreds of kilometers away. This homegrown technological edge allows Ukraine to offset Russia's quantitative advantages and create asymmetric threats that the Russian military is struggling to counter. And finally, and most importantly, is the human factor. The motivation, resilience, and tactical adaptability of the Ukrainian soldier are unmatched. They are fighting for their homes, their families, and their future. This gives them a moral and psychological advantage that no amount of Russian propaganda or coercion can overcome. Ukrainian commanders have also shown a level of flexibility and decentralized decision-making that stands in stark contrast to the rigid, top-down command structure of the Russian army. This allows them to adapt quickly to changing battlefield conditions and exploit opportunities as they arise. So what does this all mean for the future of the conflict? Holding the initiative means Ukraine is shaping the next phase of the war. Russia is being forced into a defensive posture, reacting to Ukrainian moves and trying to hold on to the territory it has occupied. Their offensive potential has been severely blunted. While the fight ahead is still incredibly difficult and will require immense sacrifice, the strategic momentum is clearly with Ukraine. Ukraine is proving that it's not just defending, it's actively working to liberate its territory and achieve victory on its own terms. The path is challenging, but the direction is clear. The initiative belongs to the brave defenders of Ukraine. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this analysis insightful, please hit that like button, subscribe to Ukraine Will Win, and share this video to help spread the truth. Your support means the world. Stay strong, and Slava Ukraini!